Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy Friday night to join me. I really appreciate it. I actually enjoyed my Friday evening and just kind of did nothing. Watched a little bit of Hell's Kitchen. It was awesome. And so I want to give everyone a friendly reminder out there as to the importance of setting boundaries and setting standards for yourself. Now, both boundaries and standards are something that aren't always going to be respected by everyone. And it's interesting because both boundaries and standards are something that I only, in principle, just not only believe in, but in practice, just really hold true to my own self and my own belief system. And I just feel like when you set yourself up for good situations and you have high standards, you have a better chance of success. But also, there's a lot of room to just always mess up. As it concerns, I am just trying to find a place, as far as employment goes, where people are nice, where people want to work with other people, where people are patient, and where people have standards. And the interesting thing about standards, right, is that it's also the root word of like standardization. And oftentimes standardization gets a bad rap, but I'll tell you, if there's anything real interesting about life is just how practical in some situations standardization is. And such successful things like the United States military and restaurants that run with solid leadership and established chain of command, along with these things, become, standards, routine standards. And I just feel like I haven't quite yet found where I'm going to be most comfortable, but I also am not going to compromise my standards for anyone. And it could be something as little as keeping your station clean or communication. But regardless, I am not a confrontational person so far as it concerns the patronization of other people. I feel like I've never done that. And I was telling my roommate when I got home after leaving work that my problem with people is that they expect you to just straight up listen to them, right? And anytime you question or you ask for help, or it's just sort of met with this huge, sort of very clear and very distinct negative attitude. And that just isn't kind of where I'm aiming for in life whatsoever. It's instrumental for each member of a functioning team to have some respect for each other, and realize that our jobs aren't like those that are first responders or law enforcement or first aid, national disaster responders, in that if you have a job that allows for you to do things the right way, do them the right way. You know, Talk to people in the appropriate way. Address them as they address you. Treat people like you want to be treated. And going back to what my conversation with my roommate is I don't understand how people are put in a situation to do things and then not expect any kind of thing back. I mean, what kind of people are people looking to work with? Just people that are just gonna like blindly listen to anybody that tells them what to do or how to do it? I mean, again, these are all very common problems with the way that workplaces sometimes work. But that's why the best of the workplaces offer the most success as it concerns the longevity of them and staying open and things. So, take it from one failed business owner. I gave it my all, and that was something that just didn't work out, but by no means am I willing to jeopardize my own standards in life for anybody. And I guess that's also wherein the problem is too, is because of my unwillingness to not offer my opinion as it's provided. And I just feel like it's insulting not to be an active listener and provide people with your thoughts and opinions on what's going on. There's more than one way to do most things in life. And going back to that standards also have to be set. Standards must be made, rules must be followed, and it can't be circumstantial. Anything other than the circumstance of which the profession offers. And you're only as strong as, your weakest link or whatever, you feel me? And so teaching people is also instrumental to actually being able to utilize that person for assistance. And so, I mean, I guess don't take my word for it because I haven't been the poster boy again of any type of real success. But what is real success? Getting into a routine, doing things the wrong way, passing standards, not caring about safety. I mean, at what point do you set, and we talked about it in the opening of the video, at what part do your boundaries get respected at work? I mean, you look at your coworkers, they may be of the opposite sex, and you may notice that people of the same sex that you're working with are treated differently. I think working specifically for young people is interesting because young people just, they don't seem to get it. They don't seem to understand that when they work with people that are just a little bit older than them, that they should give them the benefit of the doubt and they should be treated with respect. And if not, then it's just as easy it was to get that job, will be just as easy to find another. And again, it's nothing on anybody or whatever. It's just boundaries and standards. And again, I've never publicly said where I've worked. I've never mentioned any names, as it concerns maybe like anything at all bad or whatever. I've never mentioned any management's names or whatever, and that's cool. I think it's interesting that I'm just trying to find my place in the world. That's all, and I will continue to seek it out, and that's no problem. There's no ill will here. There's no bad feelings. It's all good. Some of us have different boundaries, and some of us have different standards. And again, I know that if I continue to look for a place that will allow me to set appropriate boundaries and allow for the right kinds of standards that I believe in, and again, we all believe in different things, and that's just fine. That's the world goes round, and everyone has an experience, and that's just great. But so far as it goes, to employees out there who really just aren't happy at work, if you're not happy at work, you're not going to be happy as a person. And so it's really important to take care of your mental health at all costs. And if that means doing the right thing more than having to be patronized or, talked down to or whatever, then like that's the price you gotta pay. And out of all people in life, I know this. I know this more because it's cost me more time and more money than anybody out there could possibly even begin to imagine. And I'm all right with that. I think a part of the reason all my hair isn't white already, getting close to 40, is because I really am. I'm just trying to be a part of a team, I'm trying to be around nice folks. I'm trying to be around people who are willing to be patient and who are willing to teach and have good attitudes. And I understand that everyone's circumstance is different. So, again, I just look for a different circumstance, and there's no problem at all with that. So, I mean, we do live in America after all. And I would recommend to anybody in life to never settle. I mean, it's a high cost to pay, but trust me. I mean, like the people that choose to settle and stuff and end up being, grumpy or just hard to work with and stuff. I mean, do you want to end up like that? I mean, or do you want to approach life in a way that allows you to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more open minded, and moreover, a lot easier to work with? We all make our decisions, we all make choices, and I make my decisions and I make my choices. But all of my decisions and choices are based solely upon two things in life, and that's boundaries and standards. I set standards for myself. I have boundaries, and I feel like that those are intrinsic values, traits that I'd rather keep those than, have to sell a part of my soul every night for a few hours. I mean, I'm looking for something that I look forward to going to, and can you blame me? I mean, how many of y'all out there just hate going to work? I mean, more than just like a normal hate, like just don't like it, don't like anything about it. There's no leadership, it's just it's just not for you. You know what I mean? Maybe if you were a teenager or if you were younger, and again, I couldn't make this stuff up. It's the way the world is. And I, did I have the opportunity to meet, anybody really my own age? Yeah, kind of. And those people that I did were wonderful. They were wonderful. Everyone that I just currently worked with, they are all good at their own stuff, and I'm so happy for them and their circumstance and their jobs and stuff. I wish everyone the best. Absolutely. No sarcasm. But my boundaries and my standards are just a little bit different. And I'm not better. They're not worse. They're just different. And I think being a grown up is understanding that you win some and you lose some. And when you have boundaries and standards, I'd argue that unfortunately, as a sign of our times, you're going to lose a little bit more than you're going to win. Because a lot of the times, people that have been in employment for a long time and at a certain position might be hard to work with. And that's kind of the thing, is it either goes both ways. It's like, in your experience at home, have y'all experienced this? Sometimes when you're new at a job, it's easy to work with people that have been there for a long time, and sometimes it's impossible. And it's never really in the middle. I've never really experienced this. And those of us who haven't had to change jobs for a long time can't say they understand, because they've been at the same job for a long time. And it's 2024 and it's tough. It's tough out there finding a job, and more importantly, finding middle-aged people like myself. I would say 35 and up, 35 to 45, that like really are looking for some meaningful employment, and more than just meaningful, but a place that allows for a middle-aged person to be respected, and also provided that they're respectful, also just given a real opportunity. I mean, you can't just give somebody a half opportunity and expect for them to perform, I mean, that's just not how you get the best results. And so I just want to encourage everyone out there at all to never settle. If you feel like you're not working out at a place, move on. Move on before you are 45 and extremely grumpy that you decided to stay at that job because you were just too comfortable to find something else or to look for something better. And I feel like I was never taught that. I feel like I was just always taught to settle, to deal with it, But I find that, like, why would you? Like, isn't that crazy? Like, why wouldn't you want to be happy? Why wouldn't you want to work somewhere that you feel invited and welcome to? I mean, I just I guess my standards are a little bit different. And am I asking for too much? I mean, am I wrong? Are people, supposed to be the way that most often they are, and I'm wrong? Because if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. I really am. But I feel like I would just rather be treated with respect and with kindness, because that's how I treat people. And so I think when I think that goes out the window, um, it sort of just like becomes this really awkward social situation that my boundaries don't allow for me to go there. And my standards really just as low as I even set them, because my life's all about doing nothing. Um, it's just different strokes, different folks. So, moving on. I hope that you guys have a really good night out there. I hope that you guys have, if you're drinking, don't drive. Definitely never drink and drive. Have a designated driver and make sure that DD has had absolutely zero to drink. Because why would you risk that? You feel me? So stay safe out there. And also, yeah, thanks to, for all the opportunities people have given me. And I'm sorry if it hasn't worked out, but it goes both ways. You feel me? And so just I'm looking to be happy at a workplace, and until I find an appropriate place where I fit in and I'm happy, then I'll keep looking. It's no problem, because eventually I'll find something. I'll find a place, and I'll be happy. And that's all that I want. I just want to be happy. Going back to those boundaries and standards, my standard is to ultimately just be happy. And my boundaries are just, treat me like I treat you. And I hope I treat you very well, because I make a conscious effort to do so. And I do that because I'd rather be nice than grumpy and mean, I mean, again, those aren't, I guess, bad things to be. It's not hating, you feel me? I'm on a different vibe. That's all. So I hope that you guys have a really good night and take care of yourselves, all right? Bye.